Newcastle 2, Manchester City 1. And that, Xabi Alonso, that Real Madrid is how you beat Manchester City. That is how you do it. What a brilliant performance from Newcastle. Outstanding, shall I say. I'm going to tell you right now, to each and every one of you, Haaland was locked off completely from making an impact in this game. Completely locked off. And it just showed today how on earth you beat Man City pretty much across 90 minutes of this game. Real Madrid obviously faced Man City in the beginning of December in the Champions League. And Xabi Alonso, you better take notes. I don't want to see another performance like against Liverpool. I want to see a performance like this and how Newcastle showed up today against Manchester City. Absolutely sensational stuff. The transition play from Newcastle, Tonali, absolutely incredible. Guimaraes, absolutely magnificent in the midfield. Completely bossing Man City all over the place. An absolute incredible masterclass by Eddie Howe's guys, honestly. And with the whole team itself, and I tell you what, Barnes, he corked Man City, destroyed them, battered them. The first goal that they scored and how they took it was insane. Obviously, the build-up from the midfield, the quick interchange of play, and then Harvey Barnes has a chance to shoot, tucks it down to the left-hand side of Donnarumma. Unbelievable. And look, the second goal that Newcastle scored, look, a huge VAR decision. Obviously, is it controversial or not? But I tell you what, the on-field decision stays as it is. And Newcastle fully deserved to beat Manchester City. Fully. And I'm going to actually correlate this to how Real Madrid can beat them. Yeah? It's absolutely a thing where a team needs to be quick in transition against Man City. They need to be quick on the counter. They need to use pace to their advantage. And I tell you what, Madrid at the moment, they play at slower fashion than Newcastle. Much, much slower. Real Madrid are a much slower build-up team than Newcastle. Newcastle, quick. No messing around. They did the business. They showed up what it means to actually play fast, quick, attacking football against Man City. They were absolutely incredible throughout the whole game. And look, I've got to look at players like Valdemade, who was a towering figure in the attack of Newcastle. We don't have that at Madrid. The two defenders, yeah, I've got to say it right now. Theo and Schlar, I tell you what, both of them, they were incredible at their job. They showed Haaland completely. They were like, okay, I'm going to be staying on you like a rash throughout the whole of the game. And what did they do? They did that. They completely annihilated him from start to finish. They didn't allow to give him space at all because they're physical units. And Militao and Dean Howson, I tell you, Dean Howson is made of paper, this guy. When you look at Shaw and you look at Theo, honestly, both of them, they were absolutely battering Haaland left, right and centre. They did not allow him to breathe. Apart from Diaz's goal, what on earth did Man City actually create? And you've got to ask questions of Real Madrid. Are you going to allow Man City the space, or are you going to consistently press them like Tonali and Guimaraes did in the midfield? Especially when Foden and Silva have the ball in that midfield. What did they actually do? They had nowhere to maneuver on the pitch. They were completely locked up in the centre of the park at St. James's Park. And it just shows what you can do when you play with an organised manner and also with a tactic against Man City. I don't want to see Xabi Alonso walking into this match against Man City in the Champions League and absolutely trying to scumbag a victory. It won't work. It won't work. What you need to do is play against the run of play. Because Man City are going to hold the ball. We know that. They're a possession-based team, and they're going to hold the ball continuously. You need to be a team that's going to be looking out for weaknesses. And the weaknesses of Man City are the defensive unit. They always flood, they always overlap on the wings, and they allow space and time for you to hit them on the break. Hit them in transition. I don't want to see us build up the play for 20 million passes at Real Madrid. I want to see what Newcastle did today and give them no options. No option in midfield. Did you see the block in their defence when they went 2-1 up? Man City could have been there for 360 minutes and still wouldn't have scored a goal. Because Newcastle, they knew how to set up against Man City. They had 6, 7, 8 bodies lined, piled up in their own defensive half to stop Haaland. To stop other players trying to get ahead. Trying to stop players trying to get behind the defensive line. They were absolutely incredible, Newcastle, from start to finish. And it just begs a question. Can Real Madrid do the same, guys? Can they do the same? I don't think they can. I'm going to say right now, Newcastle today will do a better defensive job against Man City than Real Madrid. Because I can see it in their team and how quick the tempo is of the game. Newcastle, they didn't allow Man City to breathe. But when they were on the other side and flooding the attack as well, they just made questions to Man City's defense. Donnarumma made excellent saves today. That could have been a different story, even worse a defeat for Man City. And it's absolutely essential that Real Madrid, they play exactly the same manner. But we don't have the physicality of Joelinton, Tonali and Guimaraes. These guys are absolutely monsters in midfield. And they showed up against the midfield of Man City, consisting of Cherki, Silva, Foden, Gonzalez and Doku. Doku on the wings trying to overlap, trying to consistently overlap. But I tell you what, Livramento had him in his back pocket. He had him in his back pocket consistently. Can Real Madrid do the same? You bet. You answer that question in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, guys, to the channel if you're new. If you're a Newcastle fan, hey, well done, Pre. Well done. You have absolutely showed up to against Man City, and you have put them to the sword, not by scoreline, but by just tactical brilliance. And Eddie Howe knew what he wanted to do with the team. Newcastle always causes problems against Man City. Haaland has scored limited goals against Newcastle their past, and obviously this season, this match here. Limited goals because they know how to contain Erling Haaland. The beast, the monster that's been scoring all these goals this season and then get absolutely pumped by Newcastle, not allowing him to breathe. He's nowhere to be seen. You see Shaw consistently trying to be physical with him, get into him, not allowing him to move. And they were the same as well. He was doing exactly the same. They were like an absolute beast of a unit. They don't allow him to show on the outside where Haaland can get a step in front of him. They're always ready, always alert, always ready to actually counter whatever Haaland has to go for him. He can't get a step away. He can't use his pace because they're sitting deep. They're not sitting on a high line that Real Madrid currently play where you're allowing Haaland to get behind your defensive line. If we play like we currently play this season, we're going to get smoked by Man City. But Newcastle showed what they need to do, Real Madrid, to beat them, to beat this side, to contain players like Silva and Foden that can technically hold the ball continuously. When you have Tonali, who's absolutely running after players consistently, Guimaraes the same, Joelinton the same. This needs to be your Bellingham, this needs to be your Tchouaméni, and this needs to be either Valverde or whoever it is going to be in the midfield, or Camavinga, whatever it is going to do, in that moment to try and chase down these Man City players. I don't want to see us let them breathe. But I tell you what, Newcastle, you have to give them full credit because they started the game in emphatic fashion. They had tons of chances to score. Tons and tons of chances. And we need to know why Newcastle, I tell you what, they missed clear-cut chances, gilt-edged chances to score. Voldemade, that save that Donnarumma made. Oh my lord. How did you miss that? You literally just done it to his right-hand side. It's madness. And the stats back it up, people. The stats back it up. Let's go into the game. Because, look, there's so much to talk about here. There's so much to talk about. Look at the possession stats from Newcastle. Look at the possession stats. We know Man City are going to keep the ball. And we know against Real Madrid they're going to keep the ball. We know. Why on earth are Real Madrid going to try and go against Manchester City and try and outplay them? It's not going to work. What you need to do is sit back and hit them on the break. But we don't do that. We haven't done that once this season. Once. No counter-attacking football to save our life. Yeah? Newcastle had 32% possession in the game. And Newcastle had more expected goals because they were more clinical up front. They knew the patterns of play they needed to do to beat Man City, to cut them open. You saw Guimaraes countless times threading the ball through the middle. Tonali the same. Joe Linton the same. Trying to run in. Harvey Barnes the same. Absolutely sensational play by Barnes today. He was consistently in the mid also and also going out wide and causing them problems on the wings. Continuously causing them problems. And if Voldemade missed so many chances, 2 massive chances in the game, people, that you have to say, if you score that, Man City would have been in deeper trouble than they were. They came back into the game, obviously, by Diaz. We know that strike, amazing. It was a bit of a scuffle inside the box. And then Diaz, obviously, here went in 1-1. Before you knew it, it's 1-1, 1-0, 1-1, and then 2-1 later on. Barnes, again, absolute sensational, mate. Right place, right time. That's how it goes. Yeah? And this is exactly an example of what you need to do to beat them when they are on the ascendancy, when they're trying to get the goal back, when they're trying to get their goals. Unbelievable. Look, shots on target. Newcastle had more shots on target because Newcastle's defense were impregnable. They were absolutely solid as a rock. Newcastle's defense was solid. Brilliant from Newcastle. They actually shut up shop at 2-1. They say, okay, Man City, you come against us and you try and beat us. You try, go for the jugular. See what's going to happen. They locked up. Big time. Yeah? Big chances. 6 from Newcastle. 6 big chances. We know what they were. And Donnarumma, this guy, mate, I tell you what, some of the saves that he made were great. And you know Donnarumma, he's always going to be a big, big problem. Big problem. Voldemade, I remember Donnarumma, that save down to his bottom. Oh, my Lord. This keeper is world class. And that's one person that we've got to watch out for at the game against Real Madrid. Donnarumma, absolutely sensational. Yeah? Look, you can pass all the passes in the world you want. But guess what? You're going to get trumped by a stronger physical unit in Newcastle. They were absolutely brilliant today. Brilliant. It doesn't show from their table position, but they've always caused problems to this Man City side. Always caused problems. Yeah? And look, when you look at expected goals, you look at expected goals from set plays, non-penalty XG, XG on target, they won in all aspects of the game when it comes to statistics. When it comes to the eye test, they also did as well. Statistics you can blow out the window. Newcastle were from 0 to 90 minutes the absolute better team. Man City can hold the possession for all the time in the world, but if you hit them like they did, you will have chances. Man City's defense, I tell you what, when I look at the lineup and I look at Diaz, Vardiol, Nunes and O'Reilly, they were consistently being opened up, especially on that left-hand side. Even though Nunes had a decent game, they were consistently being opened up, especially on that left-hand side. And we know how dangerous are, especially Newcastle on the wings. And Barnes, I tell you what, that guy is a absolute gem today. He put Man City to the sword by the first goal with brilliant strike. In an instant of an eye. You need to take your chances against Man City. You have a shot outside the box, you flipping take it. You understand? You flipping take it. You get that chance, you take that opportunity, and you score that goal against Man City because you're not going to get that many. Believe me on that one. So Madrid need to do exactly the same thing. And I got to see this Champions League game. This Champions League game is going to be our bread and butter. I'll tell you what, our bread and butter. We need to actually beat this team. We need to beat Man City, and this is the way to do it. Don't care if it's at the Bernabeu, we're going to try and be on the attacking end. No, you let Man City come to you and you beat them in the reverse end. That's it, simple. Don't try to go toe-to-toe with Manchester City. It's not going to flipping work. You have to beat them in a way that will surprise them. And Mbappe's pace, Vinny's pace, exactly like Barnes today. The same thing, trying to consistently hit them on the break. That is what you want to see. And when Elanga came on, fresh legs, you bring those fresh legs on and you still hit them on the break. You still trying to hit them on the counter-attack, because that's what Newcastle did today. That's what Eddie Howe planned, and that's how his teams play against the big sides in England. We've seen Newcastle against the big sides in England this year. They've been good. They've been better than good. But there's some instances where, okay, they may have dropped off. But against Man City today, they showed a determination to beat them, and to beat them well. The whole midfield, I tell you what, that midfield of Newcastle, what you're seeing on the screen, yeah? Go zoom in, because they are absolutely sensational. I love them all. I love them all because they don't allow you to flipping breathe. These three here, Joe Linton, Tonali, and Guimaraes, they do not allow you to breathe in midfield. Barcelona, they had their time against Newcastle, we know, and Barcelona beat them by passing and moving. We saw Pedri, we saw De Jong, they're masters at it. But Man City today, they were on their case. On their case. It's absolutely sensational. And the fact, yeah, that this guy right here, Erling Haaland, he did not do anything. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Total shots 5. Most of them just nothing at all. Nothing. An expected goals of 0.98. This guy would usually be in higher numbers than that. But he did nothing to show what he was capable of today, Erling Haaland. Absolute piss all today. Nothing. And it was down to, I tell you what it was down to, yeah. It was down to mostly Shaw as well. Shaw was absolutely incredible, yeah. Defensive contributions, 3. Yeah. Unbelievable how he locked up Haaland with Thior, who was also great as well. Look how many defensive contributions he had. 10 also. Yeah? And how they build up of the setup in the back, how they play out also, and how they attack Man City, especially in these areas. You see these areas in the midfield? Next to Gonzalez, right here, they were absolutely killing them in those areas. Too much space, too much time, and Newcastle absolutely made wonders. Honestly, a brilliant performance from them. And I just want to cover what Newcastle are in terms of today's performance. They were a team that wasn't expected to go against Man City and beat them. But apart from the scoreline, they beat them convincingly. They showed Man City how a team should play against them. And that's the main aspect I'm getting at here. It showed them down the wings, compact the centre, and they can't do anything. Because all it was at the end was either Cherki or Silva or Foden trying to flood out into wings, trying to overload the wings, and trying to flood crosses into the box to Haaland. And you had Shaw, you had Thior, all the time destroying those balls coming in. Just absolutely clearing their lines. And Real Madrid, I tell you what, Dean Howson, he's not that kind of guy. He's not that physical. Militao, one of the best centre-backs in the world, I can count on him. But Dean Howson, I cannot. I'm sorry, I cannot, Real Madrid fans. I cannot count on Dean Howson. But Newcastle, these 2 centre-backs you can count on today to absolutely lock Haaland up like he wasn't even there. Invisible Haaland. Not Erling. Invisible Haaland today. Did nothing for 90 minutes. How can you lock up probably the best striker in the world for 90 minutes? It's absolutely crazy to me. 90 goddamn minutes. That is ridiculous. We have to take notes, man. Xabi Alonso, you better watch this match, bro. Xabi Alonso, you have better watch this match. you better analyze how Newcastle dismantle this team. Because we have the players to do this style, but we don't play like this. We play 1, 2, 10 touches, then we pass off to the next person, 10 touches, then we pass off to the next person. Newcastle, we're like, okay, Joe Linton, into Tonali, into Guimaraes, into Voldemade, holding up the play, into Barnes. But here we go, Real Madrid, 10 touches before we pass it on to the next player. Bro, Man City will absolutely kill you like that. We saw what Liverpool done to us. Man City will do exactly the same. I don't want to see this lethargic, slow shit that I see from Real Madrid continuously. I want to see what Newcastle did today, and they play at 10 times, 20 times, 30 times higher tempo than Real Madrid. Real Madrid are the slowest team walking God's green earth. We play at a snail's pace. Unbelievable, man. We were absolutely killing them in transition. Killing them. Big time. Love to see the Geordies smack up this Man City side, mate. Look, 17 shots, but they were non-existent from Man City. Non-existent. They were just up in the air, man. Look at the amount of shots on target because Newcastle don't allow them to breathe or shoot on target. When you have total 9 shots, you have 5 off target, more than your shots off target. You know you're clinical in those areas. And Newcastle showed how clinical they can be. They've scored 8 goals in their last 5 matches, Newcastle. So they get into form. You see Eddie Howe trying to bring them out of the dust, the ashes that they were. Unbelievable. Tonali has created Tonali has created the most big chances for Newcastle. The most. Because he knows how to build up the play in those certain areas. Can I say the same for our central midfielders when you're getting pressed? Like against Liverpool and we got absolutely touched up. Nah, mate, it doesn't go. It doesn't bode well for us. I tell you what, Real Madrid, they need to show up. They need to show up against this absolute horrible side, mate. Consistently. Classicos in Champions League. I don't want to see this, mate. I don't want to see us lose to Man City at the Bernabeu. It will be horrific for us. And Newcastle didn't want to see Man City beat them at St. James's Park either. And they did it. They did the job. Erling Haaland, for all the goals that he scored this season, came up nowhere at St. James's Park because they knew what they needed to do. Livramento also was great. And this whole team was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. You have to take your hats off to Newcastle because they done an immaculate job today. Immaculate. Yeah? And for all the situations that Newcastle have been against Man City, look, I remember last year, Newcastle, Man City drew at home. They have trouble beating Newcastle away. They have trouble. They beat them 3-2 away in, I think it was 2024. But the situation is that they have trouble. They always come up. And they always try to enforce their ideology, enforce this possession, enforce everything they're trying to do. But unfortunately, they came stuck today. And Man City was shown levels, bro. Levels. Absolute levels. I will talk about the Liverpool game probably tomorrow, but honestly, absolute levels from Newcastle. What a performance. What a performance. I want to go into my actual my player ratings, yeah. In terms of the back line, I tell you what, Shaw and Theo don't get the recognition. I can probably go for the rest of them. In terms of Hall was decent as well. Livramento completely locked up Doku. But Theo and Shaw, I tell you what, they deserve 8s, both of them. Because they nullified the best striker in world football. Tonali, probably for me, apart from Barnes, man of the match. Absolutely sensational from Tonali. Same as Guimaraes. Absolutely sensational. Both of them deserve 8s. Joe Linton was not as prominent in midfield, but did his job. 7.5. Barnes definitely gets a 8 to 9 because he showed up today big time against a team that is likely to control the ball and you have limited chances to score and you do your job. Brilliant performance from Barnes. Voldemade, he doesn't get the respect that he deserves because he was the hold-up man. He allowed other players to get fed in because you're going to see Diaz and Vardio actually try and smother him, trying to contain him, I would say. But Voldemade made it difficult. So I'm going to give him a 7. Apart from the missed chance is horrible. And Murphy, decent as well, especially in transition. So all in all, all these players deserve huge credit today. Huge credit from Newcastle. Absolutely sensational. And Haaland, he doesn't even deserve a 6.7. This guy deserves a 4 because he absolutely did nothing today. Absolutely nothing. But guys, honestly, what a performance from Newcastle. Last thing I'm going to wrap up, 5 minutes, guys, is talk about something about Madrid, yeah? Look, we go against Manchester City and we play our usual style that we play in La Liga. We're going to get cooked. That's facts. We're going to get absolutely annihilated with our usual style. I don't want to see us play this horrid, slow, tempo football that we won't see anything. We won't see chances. I'm telling you right now, we'll have 1 or 2 and that's it. I want to see us hit them on the break. I want to see us use our pace to advantage. I want to see the players like Carreras. I want to see players like Valverde flying up, overlapping the wings when we have opportunities to counterattack. I want to see Jude Bellingham crashing the box consistently. I want to see players in the midfield. If it's Camavinga, if it's Tchouaméni or whoever's back by then, I tell you, I want to see players absolutely light up those passes in the midfield. Quick tempo, one back. These kind of passing rhythms, not slow it down. Tchouaméni takes about 10 years before he passes off into the next person. No, they're going to eat you for breakfast. You understand me? The Premier League is played at a higher pace. We know this. It's been like this for years. What you have to do is just be intense up front. And the way you do that against Man City is absolutely hit them in transition when they're flooding bodies up front and you allow yourself to have opportunities 4-on-5s, 5-on-4s. That's what Newcastle had today. They didn't allow Man City to step back into their defensive shape while Newcastle had the ball. They didn't allow them. They just 2-3 passes maximum up front towards players like Harvey Barnes and Voldemade. Proper target man. You understand me? I don't want to see this useless time, how can I say it? Time wasting passes so you allow Man City to get back into the defensive shape. Because if you do that, they will have 2 banks of 4 and you won't allow yourself to pass them. What are you going to expect them to pass them to death? It's not going to happen. Newcastle showed today the levels and what to do to beat Man City. And that's all I'm going to say, guys, yeah? Let me read some of these comments first before we go, yeah? I don't want to see Tchouaméni, he's slow as F. Yeah, true that. Real Madrid players are overrated. Farming Oren, Farmers League. Vinny won't even be a top Brazilian league player. You can say that about Vinny's goal scoring ratio. This speaks different volumes, but he's just all relies on output. Vinny, his output is decent, but he needs a lot of chances to get that output. That's the problem. A bit like Mo Salah, but Mo Salah is definitely more efficient, especially in the final third. Barcelona drew against Club Bruges. Probably lost to Bruges, 4th goal counted. And they said Haaland should win the Ballon d'Or. Obviously, I'm not going to base it on one game. But I tell you what, a lot of teams, they're going to take notes from this. And they're going to actually know how to beat Manchester City this season. Yeah? Next one. Haaland's not better than Yamal. No chance. Mbappe better too, for sure. Look, Mbappe will struggle against this Newcastle defense as well. I'm telling you right now, Newcastle, they will body him all over the place. Mbappe may have more pace, probably can get behind, but unfortunately, Newcastle's defense, they sit too deep. They don't allow players with pace to get in behind. That's facts. You need to hit them with an opportunities when they are flooding the attacking end and hit them on the break. You can't maintain possession against Newcastle. They will just get into defensive shape and do their business. See, a lot of teams that beat Newcastle this year usually a tendency to hit them on the break. That's Newcastle's problem this year, and Eddie Howe hasn't worked that out. But today he worked it out against Man City. Yeah, Silva's finished. I agree. I think Silva's not that good anymore. I think he's done. I think he's obviously going to just be kind of maintenance for Pep Guardiola till he finds someone who can replace him. And then Foden the same. Foden was absolutely dog trash today. He was shit. Foden was absolutely horrendous. Honestly, absolutely shocking. This guy was trying to dribble past the midfield, essentially. Tonali was just locking him up, mate. No chance, mate. Guimaraes is the same, just absolutely pressing him for days. No chance. But anyway, guys, yeah, that's been obviously 30 minutes live match reaction for this video. Make sure you subscribe to End the Stream, Dave. Don't forget to obviously like the video, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts in this after this live stream has ended. Make sure you get into this comment section and actually smash those comments in the section as well. But guys, that's been Newcastle 2, Man City 1, and what a brilliant performance by Newcastle. Absolutely sensational. Guys, take care, adios, and come on Madrid, man. We can beat this Man City.